Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all folks in between, and welcome to a St. Patrick's Day episode of Aunt Millicent's Cooking Show. Hey, y'all, and welcome back to the show. This week's going to be our St. Patrick's Day episode, and last year I actually made a St. Patrick's Day show, but I didn't end up liking the results. I made some, they were basically Rice Krispies, but they were made with Lucky Charms. And whereas they were probably a good idea, I think I may not have put enough marshmallows or something in them. Anyway, I thought they were kind of firm and they're hard to eat. So we're going to try it again because that's what we do here. We're going to make St. Patrick's Day cupcakes. There's no particular name for them, but they're going to have a St. Patrick's Day theme, including a rainbow and green, and they're going to have a pot of gold. So without further ado, let's apron up and let's get started. Okay, y'all, this is going to be pretty easy, really. We're going to make it with box cake. You can pick any flavor you want. We picked chocolate tonight because the producer wanted chocolate. So pick whichever one you want. We're going to make cupcakes out of them. And speaking of cupcakes, you want to get yourself some cupcake liners. And I hope somewhere in your kitchen you have some sort of a cupcake or a muffin pan. Okay, it's going to be kind of hard to make them without them. So if you don't have one, you may want to head down to the store and get one. Okay. We've had this thing forever. We use it to make all kinds of muffins and everything. So get you one of those. And we're going to make, that's going to be our cupcake part. And we're going to make icing too. We're going to use the standard buttercream icing that I've used for a few things on here. So you need a softened stick of butter, one full stick. Okay. Then you're going to need some cream cheese, and make sure that's nice and soft too. And then you're going to need four cups of powdered sugar. Okay, we were going through our stuff in the closet and we had some extra in there, so I just put it all in one big cup, but you need 4 cups of powdered sugar for it. And then because it's St. Patty's Day, get yourself some green food coloring. We're going to make it nice and green, okay? Now, cupcakes, not a big deal, okay? What makes these fun is we're going to take our icing and we're going to dye some of it green, but some of it white. We're going to make little clouds, and in those clouds, are you ready for it? We're going to put rainbows. So I'll look this up. Found a recipe online too. These are Airheads Extremes. These are sour. Okay, let me tell you, this is not my taste. Okay, but if you got youngins at home, they'll love it. Okay, but anyway, these Airheads are your rainbows for your clouds, and they're going to be on top of the cupcakes. Okay, and then finally, just to make it a little more St. Patty's, I found these little gold sprinkles. They look like they don't look like coins really. Well, let's just say they could be gold. So you have a little bit of gold at the end of in the pot at the end of your rainbow. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Okay, y'all. To get started, let's go ahead and put in our cupcake liners. Okay. Before you do that, go ahead and read the back of your cake box. And what I want you to do is make sure that you're warming up the oven to whatever the directions say. I'm not going to read the back of your cake box, whatever it is. You have to do that yourself. Okay. If you want to send me a screenshot, I'll read it to you. But I think you can handle that, right? Okay. So what we're going to do is in our muffin pan here, we're going to take these cupcake liners and we're going to put one in each slot. And on the back of my cake box, it said this makes anywhere from 14 to 16 cupcakes. So I've got 12. We'll just have some extra big ones. How's that sound? Okay. Notice these are nice and green for the holiday. Okay. So just go ahead and line those. When you're done with that, what I would do is I would spray this with a little bit of cooking spray, like Pam. Okay, so I'm going to do that too. And go ahead and start gathering the goods for your cake or your cupcakes. Okay, and just make sure you have everything. So I'm going to meet you back here in just a second when I get my cake mix all together. Okay, so do that and we'll be back. Okay. Okay, y'all, now that our cupcakes are in the oven, they'll be done really soon. We need to go ahead and mix up our buttercream icing. So what we need to do first is make sure it's good and soft, your butter and your sour cream. I'm going to put an entire stick of butter in my mixing bowl. If you use your mixing bowl for the cake, wash it out, okay? And then I'm going to put an entire 8 ounces of cream cheese in there. And then this is going to go in the mixer. So we're going to go over here like now. Okay, y'all, we're at the mixing station. You've probably seen me make this buttercream icing in more than one occasion on the show. So if you have, just, fast forward, whatever. But we're going to start adding our sugar. We have 4 cups of powdered sugar to this. So let's start mixing this guy up here with our whisk. And cream cheese and the butter are going to get pretty mixed up. And what we're going to do is start spooning the sugar in the mix. Okay. Make sure you don't get the spoon involved in the whisk. Okay. Oops. So slowly put this in and get it all good and mixed up. Okay. I'll come back. Okay, y'all, it is done. Nice and, how will you know when it's done? Well, that's when it's nice and mixed up. I have no idea how long I went. Probably went 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, so before we put any food coloring in this, I want you to get yourself a little bowl, and I want you to pull some of this out. Now, how much do you need to pull out? I'm not sure. Think about like the tops of your cupcakes. We're going to be making little clouds. Okay, and what better for a cloud than that right there? So, you know, just take a little bit off the top there. And we'll be tapping into this to decorate our cupcakes, okay? Makes sense? So however much you think you're going to need to make clouds, okay? I think I ended up with 18 cupcakes, and they're out now. They're cooling right now. So I'll pull out about that much. I may need more, I may need less. I'm not going to sweat it too hard, okay? So before we wrap this up, go ahead and get your food coloring, okay? Okay, now that you've got your food coloring, remember with this stuff, it's potent, so less is more, okay? We're going to turn this batch here green. I put 3 drops in mine. Lord knows if that's going to turn it completely, you know, golf course green. We'll find out in just a second, okay? So I'm going to put my whisk back on here. Looks good. And I want to start a spin and see what it turns into. Remember, you could always add more, okay? But you can't take it away once it's in there, okay? That's pretty light. I'm actually surprised how light it is. So I'm going to put 1 more in there. It's not exactly, you know, shamrock green, I guess. That's probably not either, but, you know, you want to give it the old St. Patty's Day color, okay? So whip that up real good and make sure it's running real good. And when we're done with this, mixing it up, we're going to frost your cupcakes, okay? Let your cupcakes come to a nice cool, though, before you frost them, or else the tops will come off, okay? I'll see you in a minute. Okay, y'all, we have everything we need for our cupcakes. I just happen to have a cupcake tray. We made a lot of cupcakes. We have, you know, you got kids floating around, it's constantly a cupcake day. All right, so anyway, what we're going to do, what I want you to do is get yourself a glass of water, okay? And a nice spoon, and we're going to ice the top of these with our green cream cheese frosting, okay? So you can be as neat or as ugly as you want to be. It doesn't matter. Just top them all with this wonderful bright green, okay? And I'll come back to you, and I'll tell you what to do next, okay? And the water is to dip the frosting in so it doesn't stick to everything, okay? Trust me, it'll make more sense. If you've iced any cakes, you know about the little water trick, okay? So I'll be back when all these are frosted, okay? Okay, y'all, now that we've got all of our cupcakes iced, believe me, they're iced, they're over there, okay? I got them out of the way. We're gonna start with some of the fun stuff. So once you get all that green stuff on here, I want you to get your Airheads. And if you can't find Airheads, any rainbow candy will do. Just look in the cheap candy aisle, I'm sure you'll find something. If you can't find anything at all that's rainbow, I recommend just going and get yourself a box of Lucky Charms, and you can just take the rainbows out of there. So get yourself some kitchen scissors. If you don't have any kitchen scissors, just use a knife. We're going to cut these guys in half, okay? And these strips should be about 3 inches, okay? This is going to be our little rainbow that goes across the top of your cupcake, okay? So go ahead and cut a few of those up, just however many you have. That's how many you're going to need. And then go ahead and get your gold sprinkles out. If you didn't find any gold sprinkles at the store, you can use gold sugar or just skip it entirely, okay? This is going to be your little pot at the end of the rainbow, pot of gold, I should say. And remember that white icing we saved? This is going to be your clouds, okay? So I'll show you how to make those. All you really need to do is put a dab on each side, and then the rainbows are going to span between the 2 clouds. And then you're going to get your gold pieces and just sprinkle them in there and make it look like it's a pot of gold. Okay, so I want to cut these guys and I'll be back. Okay guys, here we go. This is the last little part. We're going to add our little cloud. So I want you to get your white, your undyed, I should say, cream cheese icing. And you can put as little or as much as you want, or you can actually skip this entirely. I want to put a little bit on each side of my cupcake using 2 spoons so I don't mix the 2 icings together, okay? So once I've established my little clouds, we'll put that aside. I'm going to go get one of my little rainbow guys here. And you can arch the rainbow between, hopefully it'll stick. If it doesn't stick, you can make it stick. The 2 clouds. Ooh. So it's not perfect here. It needs to kind of be more of a higher arch. But don't be afraid to bury one end of that into the rainbow, okay, or into the clouds, okay. Once you get to this point, wow, that my bridge is collapsing. I need to start over. There, that's a little better. Okay, don't be afraid to play around with it. Always say play with your food. And then I made my little bowl of sprinkles. This thing had mixed shapes in it. Some of the shapes look like bars and rods, but these little guys could probably pass as gold coins or something. You could put the whole thing on there. It doesn't really matter, does it? But your whole goal here is to come up with a pot, kind of a pot of gold, okay? So this is not a perfect little cupcake, but it's pretty good, okay? And I guarantee you it's tasty. Most people will probably take the Airhead, off and probably not eat it because it's pretty sour, okay? It's not my taste either. But the whole thing, cupcake, there you go, okay? So I want to go ahead and frost these out, and we'll try one of these here in the dining room, just a few, okay? And there we go, y'all. We got 12 little rainbow guys. Made a few more. I ran out of the white frosting, but you know what? We'll eat them anyway, right? So there you go, guys. Really pretty. Okay, y'all, we made it to the dining room with my beautiful St. Patty's cupcake. Look at that. Is that adorable or what? What? Yes. We've used our little cream cheese icing effectively. And I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead and take this rainbow off because it's too sugary something, okay? So if you have, somebody to eat that for you, have at it. So I'm pretty sure everything's going to be pretty good on the inside because this is a cake mix and everything, but I'm just going to get a good quick bite. Very nice. You will love the cream cheese if you follow the recipe. It is so much better than anything you could buy in the store. Okay, for real. It's rich. It's so creamy. It's so good. Okay. So I really hope you had a good time making St. Patty's Day cupcakes with me. I hope you enjoy my leprechaun fascinator. And I wish you the best of the holiday if you celebrate. And if you don't, maybe you should start. Okay, with that, I wish you a very happy and healthy bon appetit.